If you see me fully mouthing my water bottle, mind your business. I have lip gloss on. You need to take advantage of being a woman, because being a woman, you have a lot of untapped potential that you probably aren't even aware of. When I made an effort to be more feminine, my life completely changed. It completely changed on how people treated me, how I treated myself, and how I treated others, actually. You know, when you hear stuff about females wanting to be more feminine and stuff like that, it's always a connection between, oh, how women are treated. Like, oh, women get treated better. Like, you treat people better when you're more feminine. Like, that's just how it was. When I was more masculine, or let's just say, I mean, yeah, when I was more masculine, I just wasn't treating people as well, because in nature, I'm a woman, period. And with masculine energy comes like aggressiveness, which isn't always bad, but like, I'm not a man. The perks of being a woman, because maybe you just aren't aware. Like, now, what do I mean by what does a feminine woman look like to me? Let's start there, because I feel like people might get confused on what I mean. Um, because I'm starting to find that it's not just the inner stuff. Like, a lot of people want you to believe, like, oh, it's just how you talk, like talking really high, and it's just like how kind you are and stuff like that. It's also about how you look. Like, a lot of people are so sensitive and misled to think that, it's wrong to be focused on physical things. Like, I don't know if you noticed, we live in a very physical world. Like, um, regardless of how much time you spend in spirituality, we live in a physical world, and it's okay to be obsessed with how you look. So a feminine woman to me is somebody who takes care of themselves. A feminine woman is somebody who speaks up for themselves. A feminine woman is somebody who smells good, looks good. And of course, looks good is up to opinion, but a feminine woman is somebody who has compassion, who is able to love and nurture. That's the biggest thing. A feminine woman is a life giver. A masculine woman is not. Or let me change that. A life bearer. Because I do think men are life givers. Like, they can contribute. Life contributors. Let's say that. And women are life bearers. Before, when I was more masculine, I'm gonna put a couple of pictures in here. I wanted to be hard so badly. It's so interesting how delicate and soft I am now, because when I was a teenager and in a little bit of my young adulthood, I'm still a young adult. I'm still a young adult, but I mean, like, in the very, very beginning of it, I was so set on being hard. And I'm not entirely sure if it was because the predominant I think it may have been a little bit of two things. One, the female figures in my life were very masculine, and then two, I was raised by my dad for a long time. So, a beauty about, becoming a woman is you get to choose who you want to be. So, whatever you've been programmed to act like, to look like, to sound like, be aware that you are able to venture on from that. But regardless, I was so, so, so fixed on being masculine. I was inspired by a lot of masculine women, but also I had this conception, like all these boys. This was when I was in, so ghetto. This is when I was in my ghetto phase, and I was just enamored with hood rats and stuff like that. That's a whole nother video. Suburban girls being infatuated with hood niggas. And so I believed like, okay, majority of hood females, they're masculine, and I see why. Because sometimes when you're younger, you think like you need to change aspects of yourself for a man to be attracted to you. And my form of getting people to be like more attracted to me was mirroring them. So like for the hood boys that I wanted to come and get my number, and they always did, I would be a little bit more masculine. Like I would be more hood. I would dress different, sound different, uh like just literally just swag was just different. Swag was very different, and um I was just attracting like the most feminine men, the most down low men. And this is real stuff. Like, you probably like, oh, this girl, she trolling. No, like, I mean, a masculine woman usually will attract a feminine man, like, just period. Not if you're completely masculine. There's people who are balanced in being masculine and feminine who attract another person who's balanced being masculine and feminine. But if you are just completely on the left side, honey, you're gonna attract one of those. Okay, I was just attracting people that I really 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 didn't want, because in my core I'm a pretty princess who wants to be taken care of and, given the world. So I just wasn't getting that, because everybody thought like I was rough and tough and like, oh, she got it on all on her own. She don't need no help. Like, because that's what I was giving. That's what I was giving. I was treated very differently. Um, I feel like when you don't take your femininity seriously, like regardless of if you're super masculine or not, I feel like when you don't take your femininity seriously, people don't take you seriously as a female. I can see now with me being more feminine, like, and now I'm about to dive into a little bit about how people treated me differently. um this isn't just like, oh, people out I noticed, total strangers. Like, no, it would be people that I knew, like my own father, like go out his way to pay for more stuff, go out his way to do more stuff for me, like carry things, um and this was just stuff that I wasn't used to. But ever since I started taking care of myself and physically looking the part of what I felt like inside, which is a gorgeous goddess, everybody else started seeing me as that too. um so yeah, it wasn't just random people. Now I did notice that, of course, random encounters would change too. Like, people started holding the doors for me more, wanting to talk to me more, being more comfortable around me. Like, just random strangers. Like, this is so random, but like women standing closer to me because they felt safer. Like, I don't think y'all understand how much privilege we have as women. And that's another video, but it's like people really, when you're more feminine, you can get the world from people. You can get people's trust easier. Like, this woman trusted me. Like, I that's the energy she gave. And I know you're like, oh, she was just standing close to you while you were in line for the store. But like, when you go to the store, ain't nobody trying to stand close to you. And especially this woman had a kid. Like, she felt safer around, like closer to me. There was other people in line. She was purposely like, and I'm not just saying like close, being exaggerating. Like, this is me, this is her. Like, there was no space in between us at all. And I was just like, I was actually annoyed at first. I was like, why is this woman standing so close to me with her kid? And I had just realized, like, my intuition is always right, and it had told me she feels more comfortable being where she is right next to you. And um I got a lot of that. You know, when you're more feminine, you'll get to be, you'll, not that you have it, because this is not that you have to, because this is by no means an obligation, but you have people open up to you more, because there's, I don't know, there's just a hominess and love that comes from femininity. You know, you look to man and masculinity for a certain like security and stuff like that, but when it comes to feminine energy, there's love and warmness that people are very, very attracted to. So um, I did notice a lot of people start coming to me more for advice, coming to me more to have a good time. I'm also, you know, you want to consider I'm a Cancer, so I am the mother sign. So it's like when I became more feminine, like that shit, it's not, it went to 10,000. I'm a fucking Cancer. So, yeah, people started treating me differently. It wasn't just men, women also treated me differently. I don't know. There's just a little bit of unpredictability out of women who are more masculine, which might just throw people off. I'm not entirely sure, but that's what it gives. Most times, masculine women are unhinged. Like, feminine women are more at peace in terms of like how they react to things. It's just in a more way that makes sense. And masculine women really like snap, kind of. They're very aggressive. That's what I'm trying to say. They're very aggressive, and you know, there's nothing like loving about that. Like I told you, been around so many masculine women, my mom, my aunt, my grandma, that like I kind of just view things as a certain way. And you know what? If you are a masculine woman by default or by choice, I'm not bashing you at all. That's just not for me. Okay? And you can feel how you want about universal laws and how spirituality works, but like, this is my channel, my opinion, babes. So let's get into how I treated myself. Now, when I say these things, I don't want y'all, you can't think like, oh, you was just a dirty little girl. Like, I was raised by my dad, okay? So there was just certain things about hygiene that I wasn't aware of. My mother chose not to be a stand-up mom, a good mom in my life. So I didn't know how to do certain things. I didn't know you're supposed to use a special type of cleansing for your vagina. I didn't know the vitamins that you should take every day, you know? Like, I didn't know how to, like, do my hair. I had to teach myself looking on YouTube, all this other stuff. I didn't know. So I wasn't properly taking care of myself when I was more masculine. Now, I've noticed that even men, period, like just observing my boyfriend, um, there's just certain things that I do that he doesn't do. Like, I put on specific, I'm also black, he's not black, but you know, just the little things, like putting on oils every day. Every day I smell like a fucking candy cane because I love peppermint. Um, you know, just making teas for myself, doing yoga and stuff like that. Like, stuff from even as simple as cutting my toenails. Like, there's certain things that men just forget to do, don't do. So having a man like that in my life, my dad is one of those men. Um, I just, you know, I wasn't doing that for myself. Like, I never did my toes. I didn't start doing my toes like consistently until about, y'all, until like this year, until this year. Honestly, I'm gonna say like no, last year. I'll say 2023. That makes more sense. Literally last year though. It's been a year. Um, I wasn't doing that. I wasn't, taking care of down there as much as it should have been. Like, I just wasn't taking care of myself that much. I don't like, I can't even imagine how, like, I didn't smell terrible, but like, I'd rather smell like peppermint than smell like nothing. You know what I mean? And I just felt like I smelled like nothing. Like, not being feminine, like, I'm keeping grace for myself, but also just being realistic. I'm not talking down on myself at all. I love this Luna and I love past Luna, but past Luna, without my femininity, I was a little bit dull because, with femininity comes creativity. Like, the only creative parts that I was exercising was, occasionally painting and doing my hair. But what you find is being more feminine to yourself is paying more attention to yourself. That's all taking care of yourself is. I know I've mentioned a lot of things like doing your toes and stuff like that, but like having the awareness to know, like, okay, I need to take a nap, or like all that homey and love and warmth that I was telling you about. If you don't practice it with yourself, you really, I mean, you can try to give it to somebody else, but like that shit is phony because it's like you don't even do it for yourself. So like you're probably gonna forget to do those things for somebody else. Like it's just, it won't be natural, it won't be consistent. So yeah, I started showing up for myself a lot more. I started taking care of myself a lot more, physically, just really nurturing myself and mothering myself, because that feminine energy that I keep talking to you about, like, you can attribute it to a newborn mother, a good one. And you may be a little bit confused, but just like the energy of just how nurturing a newborn mom is, how refreshed a newborn mom is, how catering a newborn mom is, how protective a newborn mom is. I feel like newborn moms are like at the peak of their, you know, femininity if they choose to. You can always be a fucking asshole, um, and abandon your child like my mom. But for the most part, new moms are exactly what I described. So, what did that look like for me? Um, you know, it's also doing these things for myself really boosted my confidence. Being more feminine boosted my confidence like hell. Because I feel like when you're a masculine woman, it's almost like you feel like you have to prove yourself. And that's crazy. It's kind of like that because you're being more masculine. Like, you're kind of proving yourself. Like, with me, all the stuff that comes natural, being a feminine woman, is just like I can just be myself and do the stuff I love. Like, I love being girly. I love like caring for people. I love cooking. I love cleaning. I do. That's just something that I don't have to second guess. Like, you know what I mean? For me, I just needed to level up my way of thinking, because I told you being feminine does come with confidence. I had to level up my way of thinking, how I viewed myself, and just do the physical things. So, like before I said, I really don't appreciate people tying taking care of yourself physically as being superficial. Like, there's a crowd that is sucking on that shit. Okay? Cuz reality is, doing all this is a wig. These are fake eyelashes. These are not how my brows look naturally. It's just like, that's still taking care of myself because that's what I like. Like, it's what I want. Like, it's taking care of myself because my mind is at ease when I look like this. Like, I didn't have a person to instill that in me. That's kind of just something that I ended up doing for myself. Because naturally, all my not idols, but everybody that I ended up looking up to, um, were all very feminine people. So it's kind of a no-brainer to do the physical aspects. Now, my nails are always done 9 times out of 10. My toes are always done. Maybe not always my nails, but my toes, I always smell good. My hair is always done. If I don't have a wig on, my curls are popping. Okay, I have lashes about 90% of the time because that's just how I like to look. My teeth are clean and white, pristine. My skin is glowing. So yeah, that's just me. You know, a big I want you to understand that at the end of the day, how I found femininity is my way. And I'm talking about all the physical stuff, whatever. Physically, you can, that's up for debate, okay? Because technically, let me show you what I'm wearing. I mean, I'm in the house, but like, I'm wearing sweats, a gray t-shirt, and my nails are blue. Like, and you don't see no pink on me or nothing like that. But at the end of the day, my man just sent me money. My man just called me his wifey. Like, just understand all the internal stuff that I've talked to you about. That's the only thing that's not up for debate, okay? The physical stuff, all that, you want to do yoga, you want to do meditate, you want to cook and clean for a nigga, fine. Maybe his version of taking care of you taking care of him is literally just rubbing his feet. I don't rub my man's feet, but maybe that's what femininity is for you. Like, that's what I mean when it comes to that's up for, like, it's just whatever whatever you see as that. What is not up for debate is the principle of being nurturing, being love, being light. Okay? With all these things that I'm telling you, with that, you will treat people more better as they should be treated. Um, I do believe that it is, and y'all gonna be mad at me for this one. I do believe it is a woman's job to bring that into a relationship. I believe that it's a woman's job to bring that wherever she is, period. It is my job as a woman to bring love, light, affection, nurturingness into wherever I'm at. Wherever I'm at. That's if it's to a little kid that's, needs his chips paid for. I don't know. If it's to a old woman who wants to talk for a couple of minutes because she loves how my lashes look and she wants to know how I get them that way. Like, these sound like little encounters, but I assure you, the energy that you give, just being nice, just being loving, being light, like just giving that child a snack, paying for it, like, because you see he wants it, like just having a cute conversation with that old lady, that energy that you receive back, like, it's far greater than you could ever imagine. And when you're on default to have behavior like that, Just imagine meeting the right old lady who's like, "Oh, you know what? You're so nice. Like, you are such a like, I love your energy. Like, would you like to model for my son's company?" Or that child, fucking his dad comes up, he's like, "Oh my god, like, you're so nice. Can I take you out? Like, and I'm gonna pay for everything. Did you eat today?" Like, it's just like, and there's that whole thing, oh, don't do things because of what you can receive, but like, why not? I think you should, in all honesty. If I know that me being a good person, a good woman, a feminine woman is going to attract this, that, and the third, that should matter to me. I want to be treated like I'm the feminine woman that I am. So that's important. It's like how you treat people, super, super, super important. And you will treat people how you're supposed to be treated, how they're supposed to be treated when you are more feminine. So, honestly, just to a little bit of a recap, because I just gave you a lot of information. When you are more feminine, you will be treated differently by others. You will treat yourself differently. You will treat others differently. Okay? Where it all starts is yourself. Okay? When it comes to how you treat yourself, that's first. Period. Okay? That's first. I want you to also pay attention to the women in your life, especially if you are younger, because why? Regardless of how hard this is to hear, you act like the women that are most around you. Like, that's just what it is. You might hate that, you might love that. But I want you to take a second to look around at these women who are actively in your life, even if that's like your best friend, honestly. Um, and I want you to just pay attention a little bit. See what attributes you got from them. See what you love. See what's centered around love, light, nurturing, and see what's not, and see how they treat themselves. Examine how you treat yourself. Assess and change. Okay? It's really hard for me to believe that you don't have any, like, a feminine bone in your body. Like, even if it's just your interest, say you don't do all the stuff that you don't look like me, you don't look like Shira 7, like, you don't act like me, you don't act like Shira 7, but say you're interested, say you're watching this video, say you watch Shira's videos, obviously there's some femininity in there because you're attracted to us. Okay? So don't be too hard on yourself. You have to remember, don't compare. It's all about what you want for yourself. It's literally about mothering yourself. That's where it all starts. All how people treat you and how you treat other people, that will all fall in line. It starts with yourself, because I'm telling you, I'm gonna give you an example and then get out of here. I'm telling you, there have been times where, like, I have been so short and unhinged with people. Like, even it's an ongoing thing. When you're used to being masculine, you gotta, like, stop yourself sometimes, because even now, like, I still have things that I'm working on. And my biggest thing is just, like, how short I am with people, because once upon a time, I was just so quick to snap, like, so quick to be aggressive, because that's just what I was used to seeing so many times. And lately, I've been like my dad had done something. He was, I'm just gonna tell the story. Basically, he wanted to lay on my sister's shoulder. Like we were tired. We just came from, or we were coming from a trip. We were at the airport. Our flight was like delayed an hour. He was tired. He wanted to lay his head on my sister's shoulder. My dad is very affectionate, very touchy. My sister is not really. She's not really a touchy person, and it's not that we're not. We're similar. It's not that we're not touchy people. We just are very sensitive to touch. We don't like being touched by anybody, just anybody. It's usually like just that one or two people who like we don't mind being touched by, but like she didn't want to be she didn't want him on her shoulder. And so he caught an attitude. He was just caught this aggressiveness, masculine aggressiveness. He snapped. He was just like, I do all this stuff for you guys, like, and I can't even lay on your shoulder. I bet like my brother, his daughters don't do that for him. Like they're probably so sweet, all this other stuff. Just saying stuff to try to hurt people's feelings. Um, and then that was it. And I like honestly, entitlement is so annoying to me. So annoying to me when it comes from other people. I hate entitlement. And I'm such a girl's girl. So when it's a man that feels entitled to something my fellow sister is like obviously not trying to put up with, I get triggered very easily. So and I said sister I said sister figuratively, but obviously it was my actual sister. And so I was like, excuse me, sir. Like, I had said it in the most calm way. Usually I'll spaz. This time, I calmly was just like, you know, you should consider how much influence you have in my sister's life. Like, you're teaching her that if a man does stuff for her, buys her things and all this other stuff, that she's obligated to do things that she doesn't want to do. That's kind of what you're encouraging right now. Not kind of, but that's what you're encouraging right now. So I think that you should take your role as her father a little bit more carefully, because you don't want to influence and encourage certain things that you wouldn't want my sister in the future. Period. Just like that. I just ate like just like that. No crumbs. I just ate like that, and he was very receptive. In fact, he was so receptive. He sat there and he thought about it. He still had a little bit of attitude, and he thought and he thought, because when somebody's aggressive, it's so easy for them to just bark back and bark, because at the end of the day, aggressive people just like they want aggressiveness back. But when you like kind of put water over that fire, there's no fire left. There's no fire left. So he had a little bit of an attitude. He thought about it. And then he was like, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. He said that to my sister. I'm sorry to you too. And I'm sorry that I compared you guys to a relationship that I don't even know about. And that was that. You know, I was very proud of myself. Even my dad said, you know, you're maturing so well. Thank you for being so compassionate towards me. And I was like, wow, that was like a big scenario for me, that in the most recent, that I was just like, wow, like that actually felt pretty amazing. Like I didn't have to be so rowdy to get a point across. Like, and then like my energy was still intact. Like I'm telling y'all, I was mad. I was when this was going on, but like I kind of just like I remained calm. I remained calm. So your life will change. You'll notice yourself change when you just make a conscious decision to change. And once again, this is Masterminds with Luna 13th, where I hope people be the master of their own minds. Love you guys.